first word that you have a problem with is yasaddauna. Now, that comes from the root sad dal ain. The root is made of 3 letters in Arabic, and if you add a suffix or a prefix to that, you can change the actual meaning of the word, and including adding and removing the vowels. This comes from the word for root, as I mentioned, sada'a, and this word we know is in the second verb form. Verb forms, there can be 10 per verb in the Arabic language. I'm sure, being a connoisseur of the Arabic language, you'll be aware of that. So let's have a look at what it can mean. Okay, so when we're looking, there's the root word there, sada'a, and this is the meaning that it can have: to crack, to break, conquer, overcome, surmount, to come out openly with the truth, to execute an order, comply with, or to pass, to have or get a headache. And we have a second verb form there quite clearly: to cause a headache, to bother, to harass, to pass, to have or get a headache. Again, and then we have the fifth verb form there: to get a crack, become cracked, to develop, breaks flaws, to become fragile, full of cracks in terms of relationships and friendships, to separate from, part. And then the seventh form there: to crack, to be rudely interrupted, to break down. So we know this is in the second verb form, so you say it means crack. This is one of the possible meanings.
A spring that is flowing in the Jannah is named Salsabila. وَيَطُوفُ عَلَيْهِمْ وِلْدَانٌ مُخَلَّدُونَ إِذَا رَأَيْتَهُمْ حَسِبْتَهُمْ لُؤْلُؤًا مَنْثُورًا. And coming around them as they are sitting on their raised thrones will be servant boys. They have everlasting youth. And when you see them from far, you would think that they are scattered pearls.
Now, I think you heard your scholar, one of the biggest scholars of Islam today, teaching, by the way, this is he was teaching in the UK, I think, saying it clearly that Allah will give you a very, very sexy, pretty. He did not say, like, I don't know how Muslims they can say such a thing. Very sexy, pretty boys. I don't know if those boys in the front of your eyes will be good for you. I want to ask you as a Muslim, those boys, they look for you sexy? Like Allah will approve such a boys to be in there? No, no, no. Allah will like to have very, very, very attractive boys to serve you. Now, I will ask you the question in a very easy way. And I want to see how smart you are and how you will answer. I'm not going to argue with you if those boys, they are going to be bleeding in heaven or not. They will have headache or not. I will ask you the following. Your prophet, he said, every Muslim, he will have 300 boys. Let us say that you are right, for the sake of argument. You are trying to prove to us that those boys are just to serve you. Question number 1. Why 300 for each Muslim? Like, what you will do with the 300 boys? Number 1. Number 2, even in the heaven of Islam, a child abuse exists. Do you think have little boys to serve you there is something moral? Do you think your God really is a good God? Taking little boys, making them slaves, all, at least in lifetime, if we are slaves, one day we will die and that's it. In the heaven, they will be slaves forever. Eternal slavery. What kind of God he will make little boys servant for you? And how many? 300. Why 300? Like 2 or 3 or 4 doesn't. Do you know how many 300? It's the size of a school. How many those are in the picture? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Man, there is a lot missing in here. So what we will do? We need 283 boys more to make the team just to serve you. this is a proof to us, this verse alone proved to us that the God of Islam is a sick God, making little boys servant for those Muslims. You will say to me, just to serve you, to bring you food, I don't care. You will say, just to bring you drink, I don't care. They are slaves to serve you. For me, I see them as slaves for sex. But in any way, they are slaves. According to your explanation, they are slaves. According to my understanding, they are slaves. So both of us, we agree that they are slaves. So 72 horny women, at least, this is the lowest reward, by the way, for Muslims. Many understand the 72 number in a wrong way. Let me show you. This is the book of Musnad Ahmad, and by the way, the book of Musnad Ahmad is one of the Sahih book, which means correct books. The Sahih, many don't understand. Many people, they think the Sahih books is only Bukhari and Muslims. The Sahih books are 6, and this is one of them. Hadith number 10511. The book name Baqi Musnad al-Muktharin. Chapter name Baqi al-Musnad al-Sabiq. I will post the link next to my video. Whoever wants, you can copy the link as it is, post it in Google Translation, and you can read it all. The Prophet, he said, the lowest reward, Inna adna ahla al-Jannah manzilatan, Inna lahu la sab'u darajat. The lowest reward for a Muslim, this is for the bad Muslim. The Muslim who never pray, the Muslim who never killed a Christian or a Jew, this is a bad Muslim. Because the Muslim, like, if you never killed a Christian, you are not doing jihad. If you never killed a Jew, you never do jihad. If you never killed a Hindu, you are a bad guy. So even that, he will get the 72. He said, every day will be served by 300 servant, and they will serve him with 300 of dish of food made from gold, and each one of them have a kind of a food nothing as the other one, and they are all of them tasty and delicious as the first as the end of it. And if you want, this food will be enough to feed all the people of heaven. Imagine how much food. The Muslims will be monsters in there. And he's saying, and he will have 72 of the hur, the horny women, and each one of them, her butt is 1 mile size. And by the way, the word in red, this is the word butt. Imagine the butt of a Muslim woman in the heaven of Allah, her butt will be 1 mile size. Actually, there's a hadith, it says the Prophet, he said that the private part of a Muslim is going to be in the size of a palm tree who hit the cloud. I don't know how far the cloud can be, but you can imagine at least 5-6 miles maybe. And he said that the vagina of the woman is going to be something fit for that. So it's going to be the same as a channel between two cities, like the one between France and England. So in here, what we understand, that there's a 300 servant. Those are the lowest reward for a Muslim, which means Osama bin Laden, he might have a 300,000. We don't know. 72. The number 72 is for the bad Muslim, as you see. And your wife butt will be 1 mile size. By the way, guys, I invite everybody. I am a good Muslim guy. I want to invite you, all of you, to do hiking in the top of my Muslim wife butt in the heaven of Allah, because she have a very huge butt and it's very high. You can do hiking, okay? But be careful, because if you fall down, you might fall in the valley, which is dark, and you will never be able to get out until Her Majesty she fart. And if she fart, you will end and you will land in the moon. Because imagine 1 mile butt full of gas. This is a lot of gas. And don't smoke, please, because gas can burn. So what kind of heaven, this heaven you are telling me, full of boys, slaves, and women, slaves, made for sex, made to serve you? This is not God. This is a pimp who is kidnapping kids, kidnapping women, putting them for your sexual, physical pleasure. Food, sex, wine, drink. Shame. Allah is Satan. Christ is Lord. Islam is false, made by dummy for dummy. Amin.